My Girl Life podcast is sponsored by Glamour Boutique. Glamour Boutique is the leading name in cross-dressing fashion and lifestyle with a physical location in New Jersey and, of course, their famous website. Be sure to use your My Girl Life discount code MGL15. And listen, I know they have your best interests at heart, so check them out. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tuck and Tell. Tuck and Tell is a solo video version of My Girl Life podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about dreams and goals and how sometimes we don't actually achieve those goals or the dream doesn't come true. But how can we enjoy the process of chasing that dream or pursuing that goal? And in today's fast-paced world, we often are conditioned to focus on outcomes, whether it's landing a dream job, achieving financial success, or reaching a personal milestone. However, the theory, or what I like to call a mindset, of the road is the end in itself challenges this by suggesting that the journey itself holds the true value, not just the final destination. This perspective encourages us to embrace the process and find fulfillment in the experience rather than postponing happiness until we reach the end point. So I stumbled upon this theory, which, again, I think it's more of a mindset than a theory, and it really resonated with me. It happened at a time when I had a small record label in California, and I was working with a lot of independent artists that had aspirations of getting signed and getting a big record deal. And as I watched these individuals go through the process, and of course, very few, if any, reached that goal, it dawned on me that they should be focusing on the journey and not the end result as much. Otherwise, it was going to end badly. I started communicating this mindset to them for a couple of reasons. One was to manage their expectations for our business engagement, and the other to help them as a human being, help them enjoy the wonderful process they were going through because they were doing something they loved and they would do it for free. In fact, they were doing it for free and gladly doing it and gladly spending a lot of money to do it. So with the very slim prospects of getting a major record deal or winning a Grammy or whatever the end dream goal was, I urged them to focus on the process of the journey, because that's where the true satisfaction and fun was happening. In addition, how many times have you heard a story about someone who's reached their ultimate goal, whatever that may be, only to find that it did not satisfy them as a human being and are now on another journey to find out what truly makes them happy? If you're doing something you love, then you're already winning. So let's talk about the philosophy behind this mindset. The road is the end in itself. The idea finds its roots in several philosophical traditions. Eastern philosophies such as Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness and the importance of living in the present moment rather than being consumed by the future goals. In the West, existentialist thinkers argue that meaning is not something we find at the end of the path, but rather something we create through our actions and experiences along the way. At its core, this mindset challenges the linear thinking that prioritizes destinations over the journey itself. It shifts the focus from a results-driven mentality to an experience-driven one, urging us to see every step in life's road as an intrinsically valuable thing. Here are some things to think about. Number one, growth happens along the way. One of the most profound reasons why the journey itself is important is that true growth happens during the process, not just at the end point. Whether you're learning a new skill or building a new career or working on personal development, the struggles, the failures, and the small wins along the way are what shape you. As long as you're making progress in whatever it is you are pursuing, then you are winning every day, or at least most days. When we focus only on reaching a destination, we may rush through the experience without fully immersing ourselves in learning. Seeing the road as the goal itself allows us to remain curious, open-minded, and willing to adapt. Every challenge becomes a learning opportunity rather than just an obstacle. Again, how many times have you heard, say, a rock star when they or their group gets a second chance at success, has a new hit record, or there's new interest in their music, and now they're on tour again, and they say all the time, I'm taking it all in this time. Last time I was focused on the money and the awards etc., etc. And I took it all for granted. What they are saying is that they're going to focus on the journey this time. Number 2, if success is only measured by reaching an endpoint, then failure becomes a terrifying setback. You have fear, right? However, if the journey itself is the reward, failure is just another part of the road. It becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and pivot rather than a reason to quit, and you get many, many small wins and victories. Number 3, the end is never really the end. Many people believe that reaching a goal will bring the ultimate fulfillment. However, once a milestone is achieved, another one emerges typically, right? We've heard this before. This creates a cycle where happiness is always placed in the future rather than in the present. When we see the journey itself as the reward, we stop chasing an illusion and start living fully. Again, we've heard plenty of stories of people who have achieved their ultimate goal only to be let down by the actual satisfaction it brings them. And therein lies the motivation for the next ultimate goal and the next ultimate goal. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great to have big goals and to move the goalpost, if you will, each time you reach that goal. But the level of satisfaction is very small compared to the years of pursuing that goal, because hopefully you were doing something you loved and you got many, many more wins out of it and accomplishments and personal satisfaction during the journey of pursuing that goal. Number 4, living in the present brings joy. People often say, I'll be happy when I get that job, or I'll feel fulfilled once I reach this goal. But what happens in the meantime? The truth is that postponing happiness for a future event is a flawed approach. The real joy in life comes from fully engaging in the process, appreciating the small moments, and being present in the now. I'll share a personal story here with you. When I lived in Los Angeles, I pursued songwriting and producing, and even started a small record label for independent artists. My ultimate goal was to get one of my songs recorded by a major recording artist or a major film. And while that did not happen, I got almost 10 years of the most amazing experiences of my life. Everything from meeting my music heroes and actually getting to write songs with some of them, having my songwriting idol call me after listening to one of my songs and telling me he loved it, hearing my song in a movie of the week on national television, knowing some of my music was being used in TV shows like Sex and the City and others, hearing my songs on the radio even though it was a local artist, and receiving songwriting royalty checks, albeit small ones. But still, I became a professional songwriter. Walking into the famous Tower Record store on Sunset Boulevard and seeing my record label on CDs that were on sale in the store with all the other major labels, going to the Grammys because one of my artists was nominated, and so on. If I just focused on whether or not I had a major artist record one of my songs or a major motion picture use one of my songs, then I would have been very disappointed at the end of that period of my life. But the reality is that was the most amazing journey I've ever had in my entire life. Although my new journey as Maddie and everything that goes with it is rivaling that journey. All those things I listed and hundreds more dwarf the joy and fulfillment of getting one song recorded by a major artist. Don't get me wrong, it would have been an amazing accomplishment and something I'd remember for the rest of my life, but I get to keep the 10 years of pursuing it in my memories, and I will cherish them forever. So how do we apply this mindset in everyday life? Here are a few ways. Practice mindfulness. Be present in your work, relationships, and personal projects. Enjoy each step rather than just anticipating the outcome. Redefine success. Instead of measuring success solely by achievements, start measuring it by the lessons learned, skills gained, and joy experienced along the way. Embrace uncertainty. Understand that life is not a straight road with a fixed destination. Be open to change, new experiences, and unexpected detours. Find the purpose in process. Whether you're working on a long-term goal or simply going through daily routines, find ways to make the journey meaningful. Final thoughts. The road is the end in itself, is more than just a theory. It's a mindset. It's a way of life. By shifting our focus from constantly chasing goals to truly experiencing the process, we unlock deeper fulfillment, creativity, and joy. After all, life itself is not a destination, but a continuous road, and the real beauty lies in how we travel it. That's it for today. Hey, if you like this episode, please subscribe to my channel and like the episode. It tells me you like what I'm doing and allows me to keep doing it. And remember, be bold, be kind, be you.